Hello and welcome to this year's 74th Golden Probe Awards here in Plymouth University, with all these rich and beautiful celebrities having a great time.
That's right, some of our celebrities have worked incredibly hard to be here this year. Some of you just married well. This year we are lucky to be sponsored by Under Armour, one of the world's leading sports power brands. Let's take a look, shall we?
Under Armour was established in 1996 by Kevin Plank in Baltimore, Maryland, USA. Under Armour was born out of the NFL. Kevin was the fullback and captain for Maryland University football team in 1994. He was not happy with the cotton underlayers they used, so he created a new t-shirt with the ability to wick sweat away. The first prototype shirt was known as the Shorty. He sent some of these shirts to college contacts who made it into the NFL, and soon word got around to professional players. Their first contract came from the Georgia State football team in 1996. Soon after, the Atlanta Falcons and the New York Giants. In 1997, they were in business with the Miami Dolphins. Their mission statement is bold: Under Armour makes you better. Their vision statement is also bold: to inspire you to performance solutions which never knew you needed and can even imagine living without. All accompanied by their legendary strapline, I will. Under Armour are the 5th most valuable sports brand worldwide. They also achieved the 4th highest sales in athletic apparel, accessories and footwear in 2017. The brand has a value of $4.4 billion US. This timeline shows some of the celebrity endorsers that Under Armour have used over their advertising campaigns. This is a perceptual map which shows a competitor analysis of Under Armour.
So that's our sponsors. We're very proud of all the achievements we have come to celebrate tonight.
Yes, Mark. Our celebrities have been doing some fantastic work. So let's look at what celebrity endorsement in advertising actually is.
Celebrity endorsement is the forming of a relationship between a brand and an influential individual who fit with the brand, whose personality resonates with the target consumer. The celebrity may endorse the brand in several ways, including appearances in adverts, mentions in the press, or on social media. Celebrity endorsement is considered as an effective promotional tool by marketers worldwide, as it influences factors such as perceived product quality and uniqueness, advertising effectiveness, brand recognition, brand recall, purchase intentions, and even purchase behaviour compared to those without celebrities. Celebrity endorsement are not only prolific in bringing reliability and trust to the brand endorsed, but also in appealing to the target audience. It aids in recognising new brand, launching, giving reinforcement, positioning, and repositioning the brands. One of the key factors is making advertisements likeable, through the use of positive characters, for example, those perceived to be credible, memorable, intriguing, amusing, or bright. By definition, a celebrity endorser defined as any individual who enjoys public recognition and who uses this recognition to appear in the advertisement in front of the consumers, and who often have distinct attributes such as attractiveness. 1 in 4 advertisements use celebrity endorsements in Western countries.
Without further ado then, let's take a look at our first award.
Our first award category of the evening is for Best Casting Director. And here are the nominees.
Quentin Tarantino, Steven Spielberg, George Valent, Martin Scorsese.
And the winner goes to, drum roll, George Valent.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Wow, I'm extremely emotional right now. Thank you so much for this reward. It's truly an honour. Firstly, I must thank those that have helped me along the way. This would not have been made possible without the help of my mentor, Jane Hudson, who's somewhere in the audience tonight. Hello Jane, good to see you. The knowledge she has given me has allowed me to choose my credible sources. and understand how these have an effect on the success of my work with Under Armour. I'd like to take 5 minutes to talk about the importance of source credibility in this day and age. The source credibility model basically states that the effectiveness of a message depends on perceived level of expertise, attractiveness and trustworthiness of an endorser. Information from a credible source can influence beliefs, opinions, attitudes and behaviours through a process called internalisation, which occurs when the receivers embrace the source influence in terms of their personal attitude and value structure. Expertise can be defined as the extent to which a communicator is perceived to be a source of valid assertions, and trustworthiness as the degree of confidence in the communicator's intent to communication the assertion he considers most valid. When a celebrity is perceived more trustworthy, the message will be more effective and the receiver will be more integrated. The trust in communication is the listener's degree of confidence in and level of acceptance of the speaker and the message. Trustworthiness can be defined as the honesty, integrity and believability the endorser possesses. It is the degree of confidence consumers place in the communicator's intent to convey the assertions she considers most valid. The expertise dimension is also referred to as competence, expertness or qualification. Expertise is the degree to which the endorser is perceived to have the adequate knowledge, experience or skills to promote the product. The expertise of the endorser is not important unless consumers perceive it to be so. Expertise can be accepted as the most important component for endorsement to be successful. Attractiveness is another important component of source credibility. Attractiveness is the stereotype of positive associations to a person not only related to physical attractiveness but also other characteristics such as personality and athletic ability. Research has shown that physically attractive communicators are mostly preferred, linked and believed to have positive impact on products over unattractive ones. Endorsers who are perceived to be attractive are more likely to lead the purchase intent. However, whilst advertisers have frequently chosen endorsers based on their physical attractiveness in order to affect consumer attitudes, research has stated that source attractiveness may only be effective if the product enhances the attractiveness of the user. For example, in the video I made for Under Armour, I used Anthony Joshua, the heavyweight boxing champion, to promote the purchasing of our product range.
In this ad, Joshua delivers an inspirational speech throughout that reflects his attitude to the internal battle all athletes must win to reach their full potential. The film shows this mental fight with AJ engaging in combat against his own shadow. The fight is brought to life by the interplay of light and shadow throughout the ad. While the shadow is depicted as a manifestation of the mental and physical progression Anthony Joshua must undertake to reach his pinnacle. The mental is as important as the physical, that voice in your head telling you to keep going, to delve deep into your character. You have to make sure that if your body wants to stop, your mind won't let you. Receivers embrace this source of influence in terms of their personal attitude and value structure. They see Anthony Joshua, a world champion, more knowledgeable above all other boxers, showcasing attractive athletic ability using Under Armour products. They got him to where he is. People therefore trust his opinion, will believe in the product if Anthony Joshua is using it. The ad shows Anthony Joshua's stature and alpha male-like appearance. People aspire to have the look of Anthony Joshua, and if he looks good wearing Under Armour products, people are more likely to mimic his look and purchase the product. Additionally, boxing fans know there is currently no boxer with a level of ability above Anthony Joshua. If he uses Under Armour products, then they must be the best boxing training equipment on the market. The second video demonstrates a different take on Anthony Joshua's success. Instead, the ad presents an inspirational and emotional dialogue in the form of a poem. The advert is brought together by a poem representing the struggles that a boy from a rough neighbourhood in London has overcome challenges and stereotypes to get where he is. Training isn't just for athletes, that's what Under Armour highlights. The goal of uniting all athletes through the common love-hate relationship with training. Everyone faces sacrifices and falls, but the ad presents that everyone has the possibility of greatness and potential to seize their moment, ending with the phrase, "I will," that emphasises that you can do anything. The video delivers a more humble dialogue through the use of someone else describing his road to greatness that more of an audience can relate to. There are also risks when attempting to use credible celebrity endorsement sources that should also be addressed. For a sporting brand like Under Armour, a detrimental possibility may be that a credible celebrity source starts using performance-enhancing drugs, which could then reflect extremely negatively on the brand. Consumers may then associate the brand with the ideology of cheating or supporting drugs in sport. Another issue could be that a celebrity or athlete starts performing badly and begins coming out of the spotlight, therefore disrupting potential buying behaviour of their customers. Again, potentially reflecting badly on the brand that is not as elite as other brands. Additionally, celebrities could become less popular, or they could simply change their image, and this could result in contradicting image of the endorsed brand.
Again, thank you so much for this award. It means absolutely everything to me. And see you next year.
Great, thank you, George.
Brilliant, thank you.
Hello and welcome back to this awesome award ceremony. We're off to a great start with our first category won by George Valence. And it looks like Scarlett Johansson is making the most of all that free champagne. Oh, and is that Jane Hudson Joyner too?
Right, I think it's that time in the evening, Mark. So, I'd like to talk to you all about something very close to my heart. This is our appeal for the evening, so listen very closely. I'd like to tell you about the elaboration likelihood model. The elaboration likelihood model, or ELM, was introduced by Petty and Cassiopo in 1981 and is most often used by advertisers when studying the attitudinal change of consumers towards products. It organises previous persuasion theory models and provides a concise framework that would include both cognitive argument quality and heuristics. It is a dual process theory which provides an account of how thought can arise in two different ways or as a result of two different processes. The elaboration likelihood model states that consumers take two routes to persuasion, the central and peripheral routes. These sit at opposite ends of a continuum which represent the likelihood of someone making a cognitive effort to process a message. Depending on a person's motivation and ability, their elaboration likelihood will either be high or low, which will, in turn, determine the route through which persuasion may occur. When elaboration likelihood is high, the central route is taken. Messages are considered more deeply, and the recipient will think about a message in its topic. Logical thinking is used. When elaboration likelihood is low, the peripheral route is taken. This requires less cognitive effort, instead relying on outside cues such as source credibility and heuristics. The central route leads to longer lasting behaviour and beliefs as facts and arguments are extensively scrutinised. Attitudes formed by the peripheral route are relatively unaffected by argument quality, are temporary in nature and are not as predictive or subsequent behaviour as those formed using the central route. This route saves energy and time for the consumer, especially when time is a limiting factor. There are three main factors that affect the route to persuasion a person takes: motivation, ability, and opportunity. A person's motivation is affected by attitudes and personal relevance. If a message is relevant to them, or they feel positively about it, they are more likely to take the time and cognitive energy to consider it. Mental shortcuts and use positive or negative cues found in the peripheral route. Ability looks at the cognitive resources a person has available. Does a person have the knowledge and intelligence to process a message? If a person does not have the knowledge to examine messages, they will look for external cues in the peripheral route. So, how does this affect celebrity endorsement? A celebrity can give credibility to a product, reducing the amount of thought a consumer has to put into the purchase decision. Authority. Does the celebrity have the credentials to promote the product as the best? For instance, a sports person promoting sports goods. And likability. A liked celebrity makes it easier to like the product. So that's how celebrity can affect the peripheral route. Several conceptual studies suggest that celebrities may also play a significant role in delivering issue-relevant information in the central route. This is when images of the celebrity and the product endorsed are matched really well. So when considering the use of the ELM, there's a few things we have to consider across the literature. For instance, the ELM model was developed during the mass media marketing communication days in the 1980s, so it's not necessarily representative of modern technologies used in current marketing. The model is also based largely on a compilation of previous empirical research that was built to fit the model after it was actually proposed. Okay, so how does this relate to Under Armour, our sponsors for the evening? Well, in 2016, Under Armour started a partnership with celebrity Dwayne Johnson, also known as The Rock. The Project Rock One trainer launched in 2018 and sold out in less than 24 hours, so it was a great partnership. He also starred in the Will Finds a Way ad campaign in April last year. He has a very high match to the Under Armour audience who trust and believe him. Let's take a quick look at the campaign.
So how do you make it? How do you overcome the odds? There's Natasha's way. Be shy, focus on yourself, till they focus on you. Or Juana's way.
Why be one champ when I want to be two?
In the Will Finds a Way campaign, Dwayne is presented as knowledgeable and as a coach and role model, helping to develop trust with consumers. He is also shown to be very human and relatable in the way he talks about his own journey and is shown in an average gym. The other 8 athletes and sports icons are shown to be professional and successful thanks to their dedication and hard work. For many people, Under Armour is a fashion brand. As a low product involvement scenario, Dwayne and the athletes help to influence the decisions of consumers taking their peripheral route, helping consumers to trust the product. If it's good enough for the professionals, then it must be good enough for them. Also, Under Armour target professional athletes. Dwayne and the other athletes also help to promote decision making on the central route. As they are closely matched to the use of the products, they further help to promote the key messages that may require more cognitive action from the consumers. Does this product meet their professional requirements? Will it absorb enough sweat? Is it hard wearing enough? Care 2015, as mentioned earlier, replicated the study of 1984. He used modern digital marketing audiences across the UK, Australia and the US. Participants were given booklets containing both celebrity and non-celebrity endorsements. The original study showed celebrity endorsement to have a dramatic positive effect on attitude score. Care's study and replication showed the endorser effect was significant only in the UK study, where the citizen endorser actually led to a higher attitude than the celebrity, the opposite of what the 1983 study claimed. Leanne in 2018 also carried out field studies that showed there was no significant moderating effect of celebrity endorser product fit and purchase intention. However, her findings showed that the athlete endorser product fit enhanced consumer purchase intentions in low product involvement scenarios. So, whilst it is clear that more research is needed and there are a few conflicting messages, for the modern environment there are a few key takeaways. A strong endorser product match can help enhance purchase intentions on both central and peripheral routes of the elaboration likelihood model. When there is a high product involvement, matching a celebrity's skills to the product can help enhance the key cognitive messages being portrayed and further strengthen consumer decisions. When a low product involvement is apparent, using a celebrity that are trustworthy and likeable can help us bypass cognitive decisions with greater ease, helping to improve credibility and heuristics. So there we have it. That's the elaboration likelihood model for you. So if you think that's something that could work for you, donate today.
Thank you, Ben, for that very passionate speech.
Thanks, Mark. Right, I think it's time for our next award category, the best actor in any advertisement.
Let's take a look at the nominees.
Kate Winslet, Alex Shaw, Sandra Bullock, Leonardo DiCaprio.
Right, and the winner is Alex Shaw.
Oh, unfortunately, Alex is not able to receive his award.
Yes, unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, Alex is currently locked in the toilets awaiting assistance.
Yes, we are tough for time, but we've just been told that we've managed to get a FaceTime line through to Alex right now.
I can't believe this is happening. Congratulations, Alex. What can you tell us? How are you feeling?
Hi guys. Well, I'm feeling two things obviously. I'm ecstatic about winning the award. I mean, props to DiCaprio. I thought it was his year, but maybe next time, buddy. And I'm very worried right now, as I thought the pros would have better bathroom facilities, but it turns out they don't. But basically today, I want to talk about what's brought me here, and how it goes basically, so we're going to do that today. The theory looks specifically at matching celebrities together based within specifically in the sports area, attractiveness and effectiveness, or how good it looks and how good it is, to put it plainly. This theory is closely linked to another theory called congruency. Both look at the celebrities having specific product knowledge to make the target demographic believe that the celebrity in question would use the product. So, for example, with Under Armour, I know they've done stuff before. If they were to promote a new thermal undershirt, for example, they could, recreate their interest in Lindsey Vonn, who's obviously, professional skier. Or if they wanted, they could sign a new contract with Jamie Anderson, who's, snowboarder, but basically she is a bit younger as well, so it might appeal to the more, the newer generations. So basically, because they're both in the winter sports industry, it would be assumed or trusted that they would use the product. So, going more closely at the matchup hypothesis, it consists of combining a product our brand with celebrity names that promote the brand either through attractiveness, which is your physical looks, or effectiveness, which is knowledge of the area or expertise. The extent of a successful matchup can be determined by the degree of fitness between the brand and the celebrity. For example, Under Armour's Rule Yourself campaign basically was a campaign in which used multiple celebrities such as Misty Copeland and Stephen Curry, who we'll get back onto Stephen Curry in a minute. Basically, they trained with copies of themselves. They used the exact same technique when using the advert with Tom Brady. Obviously, you know, Patriots, go Patriots. And yeah, so basically, again, it shows the extensive training which they go through to promote the brand more practically as a practical product. Obviously, the product can be deemed as attractive, which is why they use these celebrities, because they are good looking, but they know what they're doing, you know, because they're in those industries, in the sports industries. So this is basically a small part of a larger campaign that once again sees them basically training to be the best they can be. Because Under Armour is a sports brand, they want to use celebrities within the sports industries. You know, Misty Copeland being the gymnast for America, you've got you know Tom Brady with the Patriots, and you have Stephen Curry who's in basketball. By doing this, basically, they're making more credibility, which I believe George went on earlier, which is about source credibility. Basically, and the influency and believability to the target demographic as well. So, when looking more specifically at attractiveness, you look at how the consumers respond better to messages from an attractive celebrity when the product itself is more attractive related. So this could be more to really related to perfume, but because Under Armour is an attractive brand and can be used as apparel as well, that's how they do this. This again needs from expertise, as it shows the product to be effective versus using an unattractive endorser. It shows the benefit of using the product. This then begins to look at credibility due to their relationship with the product throughout the campaign. So as the campaign continues, they're using the product more and more, and it becomes more and more believable. And how well the celebrity is trusted for their participation. When looking more at expertise, we look at, basically, this is where the theory is more concentrated on. We look at attractiveness due to also being a sports brand, which can be seen as both practical and attractive. The theory more looks at the specific knowledge that the celebrity has about the brand, as aforementioned for something like the thermal undershirt for the winter sports industry. Basically, be more advantageous using endorsers from that industry rather than using ones due to the, using other ones from different backgrounds because of their role within that industry. And it basically relates all back to congruence and how that sort of affects the expertise is with that. When looking more at the real-world applications of the theory, there's a few people who have done some tests on this. Joseph Schumann for being one, and also Parketel. Basically, they conducted experiments to prove how congruence between the celebrity and the endorsed product relate in attitude behaviour towards the product. Both studies found that the congruence was high, which is basically favourable, when the celebrity had product knowledge, and when the product was more practical. In the case of Jones and Schumann, it was used in sports shoes. And that attractiveness was more important in a product with less practicality. Basically, it could be perfume or, more fashion-based. Basically, Under Armour's campaign using Tom Brady and other athletes shows the high congruence because obviously they are using their products and it shows more favourability towards them. And the consumers repeat this, relates. The only recommendations Under Armour, they need to carefully assess who they recruit as part of their campaigns. As one athlete, we'll go with Stephen Curry, as I aforementioned, was problematic in terms of social media following because they had to end his contract because he basically overshadowed the brand, which is basically what's called the vampire effect, essentially, where they kind of suck the blood out of the company and use it for themselves. And basically it's because of his following and the success rate he was finding within the NBA. So, if I had anything to go away with this, the theory hasn't seen too much development since about the early 2000s, roughly, based on the last experiment that I found, which was Jones and Schumann, that's about 2000s. Basically, it means that the theory is quite solid, and that the experiments have seen very good, it's a very credible theory, basically. Although the rise of social media, it could become outdated, so basically more theories based around more social media following and interactivity could be worth doing. Again, looking at the social media influences such as Instagram and Twitter, it can evolve the field of study and the scope of it, and it possibly be looking at more interactive advertisements using celebrities affects more generations such as Generation X and the millennials, see how that affects them differently to all the other generations. basically the theory is still relevant and it's far from useless when looking at the celebrity endorsement, because again, the studies such as Jones and Schumann prove that celebrities are needed to promote products, and it's just basically a good reminder for marketers to use them and basically to secure purchase intent from consumers. But yeah, that's everything from me, guys. So again, thank you for the award. And do you think you could send someone quick? We're running low on supplies and I'm kind of stuck here.
Well, it looks like time isn't the only thing running quickly this evening.
Yes, it's great to see that Alex is keeping up with his pristine attendance record. I think it's the third year in a row that he's missed this, but we'll just have to double check with Dr. Jane Hudson.
Well, we have come tonight to celebrate the efforts of celebrities in advertising and the amazing work that they do. They are important for entertaining millions of us around the globe.
Yes, we'd like to take a further look into the importance of entertainment in celebrity endorsement. So, let's take a look at the dual entertainment path to celebrity endorsement. The dual entertainment path model is a recent conceptual theory introduced to the celebrity endorsement literature in 2014. The dual entertainment path model consolidates ideas from the media entertainment theory and transportation theory. It is first acknowledged that celebrities are used in media entertainment to meet individual consumer needs, namely diversion and identification needs. Diversion needs are about escaping the mundane routines of life. Individual consumers embody celebrities as a way of emotional release and diversion from their reality. Identification needs are concerned with individuals constructing their identity by imitating celebrity behaviours to satisfy association with that social identity. This is particularly prominent with millennials. Consumers are motivated to experience entertainment via two paths: playful entertainment motives and aspirational entertainment motives. Playful entertainment motives are pinpointed on low engagement activities that encourage relaxing sensations and require minimal energy exertions, both physical and mental. Aspirational entertainment motives are stimulated by the desire to be successful and live a lavish lifestyle, like a celebrity. Consumers develop a parasocial bond where individuals experience a psychological relationship towards individuals in media, entertainment and advertisements. This means, by nature, aspirational motives require high energy exertion activities for individuals to construct and participate in a relationship with their chosen celebrity. This can be expensive and time-consuming. Experiences are broken down into two areas: celebrity fantasy and emotion. A lot of consumers do not aspire to be like celebrities, but will adopt a playful entertainment path by using celebrity fantasy as a form of escapism from boredom. And celebrity fantasy is also used by consumers to escape certain feelings in order to experience better ones. So they transport themselves away into their own world, which is centred on fandom and brand tribes. Connections to celebrities and brands are made through the mechanics of mood management. So individuals might copy celebrity behaviour and phrases in a fun way to fulfil their diversion needs. Even if they don't aspire to be like them, they still mimic them. We think about certain lines from movie films. Celebrities have brand-like properties too, which enables them to socially construct a brand-related image into consumers' fantasy, making them perfect for advertisement. This simulates emotional investment, which is closely related though to fulfilling identification needs, and it stimulates the consumer to be emotionally tied up with the brand's narrative through the use of the celebrities. So in the case of Under Armour, we see the I will narrative, and that is the emotional investment. We can see this application of this theory to Under Armour through two different campaigns that they've done.
The campaign happened during the Olympic Games. Although Under Armour will not be official sponsors of the Olympic Games, they were in partnership with Michael Phelps.
The aspirational motive is shown in this campaign because people sometimes feel that they are in the dark, and using this campaign helps consumers to relate to the struggles. It makes them feel better about themselves, and it inspires them to be successful. Michael Phelps also shows his sacrifices during this ad, and consumers also feel that same sacrifice in their life, and that is where they place their emotional investment, because sacrifice is an emotional thing.
Under Armour ran a campaign with Golden State basketball player Stephen Curry called #BreakTheGame. So they decided to film 100 ads with Curry, and they released 3-second ads every time he hit a three-pointer. They used Twitter as a central campaign platform for this with the #BreakTheGame.
The playful motive using Twitter to show 3-second ads every time a three-pointer is scored. This adds an element of play to it. So every time people see a three-pointer being scored, they imagine that they are the ones doing it. And this is the element of fantasy playing out, of imagination, the consumer themselves scoring that three-pointer goal. And that is where they find the association with Under Armour and being successful, like Stephen Curry. So, what are the good things and the bad things about this model? So, high involvement equals a high parasocial bond to the celebrity, and especially through the aspirational bond, because that requires a lot of time and money and expenses put into that. So we see that a lot with sporting celebrities and those who are performance-based. Low involvement equals a low parasocial bond. So these are for celebrities who are more playful, and we have that playful bond. So we see that with film stars and characters, and we copy and make impressions of them. This affects the choice of celebrities that we use though in these paths, and what we are aiming consumers to choose, in what type of parasocial bond we're trying to develop and strengthen. And it also is about how much involvement we wish from the consumer. It's all about alignment to the brand. So there's also a strong correlation of feelings towards celebrities with the aspirational motive. There are two main hypothesized paths, which is the aspirational, which leads into emotional investment, the playful, which leads into celebrity fantasy. But the only issue with this is that it can't be both paths. It has to be one or the other, because they are negatively correlated. Playful motives provide many opportunities to market to non-fans. So these are the people who aren't attributed to the brand already. They're not existing fans. So people who aren't into sports, aren't watching films, they're able to become invested in it because of the playful element. It is also relevant to social media and viral. See, when things are shared online, which are playful and entertaining, we like those things. As this is a new theory, there aren't many clear definitions, so it's hard for us to break down and compare with existing literature. There are no additions or evolution to this theory in the past 5 years. So, since it was written in 2014, this either means that it is a simple theory and it doesn't require any more, or it hasn't got the attention of significant academics. Strong research and support is in the aspirational path already. However, there isn't much with the playful path. So there seems to be weaker research and support in these areas, and that's where they need to do some more work. And there is also a need maybe to explore other hypothesized paths to ensure that the dual path is switchable when it gets to transportation theory. So there is not either one or the other, but there is a holistic approach to it. Hello and welcome to the after party of our 74th annual Golden Probe Awards. It was a good show, wasn't it, George?
It was great. It's good to be here.
Yeah, I think Jane Hudson had such a good time that we had to send her home.
We did.
Early
In a taxi. Yeah.
Anyway, so here we are now. We've spoken about our celebrity endorsement. We've spoken about our chosen sponsored brand this year, which was Under Armour. Now, tell us a little bit more about your chosen model and which one does it actually link to?
Well, source credibility, I think it links mostly with the dual entertainment path because of the emotional investment that's needed from the consumer to the celebrity. Therefore, selecting a credible celebrity that stimulates consumer emotions in order to influence beliefs, opinions and attitudes toward endorsing a brand.
Wow. Well, I mean, the dual entertainment path model is something that's close to my heart, and
yeah, what would you say?
I think that the dual entertainment path model closely links to the elaboration likelihood model. There are some similarities there. There are two paths. So in the ELM, there were the central and peripheral paths. In mine, there were the aspirational and the playful paths. It also matches as well with the emotional cue and the emotional investment. However, not so much the cognitive, because the dual entertainment path model is more imaginative, it's more fantasy based on experiences rather than rationality alone. What do you think about the likelihood elaboration model?
Yeah, I think the ELM model matches nicely up with the match-up hypothesis because it talks about the celebrity's knowledge of the product and this influences the buying decision based on the celebrity that has been matched to the brand and their knowledge of the brand itself.
See, I think the match-up hypothesis actually links a bit more to your model, the source credibility, because it also looks at things such as physical attractiveness, and it can be a determining factor actually in looking to how a celebrity is paired with a brand.
I think you're absolutely right there.
Well, that's all we have tonight for the show, and we'd like to thank you and say goodbye.
See you soon.